Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 4 of
Mindfulish podcast, where we'll always keep it mindful, but we definitely are going to make it relatable.
Yes. What's the topic today, Bestie?
The ultimate heartbreak, which is breaking up with your friend.
Yes, guys. Today we are going to talk about the bestie breakup.
Yeah, that's a hard one, especially because as you start to get older, it becomes harder to make genuine friends, I feel like.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times, well, to start, I think that there's a difference between drifting. Like, you know, how friendships sometimes drift because our lives may be going two different directions, or is it like fading away?
Yeah. Or like you're both busy, your lives have like taken a turn, so you just have taken space for yourself versus your friend kind of leaving you out. You know, you see them out partying, but you didn't get the invite, or they're not responding to you, but they're posting stories on Instagram.
Yeah. So is that a breakup? What would that be?
I feel like that's how the breakup starts. That those are signs, or how we talked about in regular dating, those are red flags that you start to see. And then they keep making excuses like, oh, well, I thought you were busy, so I didn't want to bother you and ask you to come out with me. Really, that's an excuse because they can always try to ask whether you say no or not.
For sure. I think there's different kinds of friendships too. So you got your acquaintances, you got your work friends, you got your best friend. You're going out friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those fall in line with acquaintances, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm only going to call you because we party real and we have a good time. I may not share like where I buried a body or something. I haven't buried a body.
Yeah, okay. But I get it. Yeah.
She would know though.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, but I don't want you to be an accomplice. She might not know.
I'll just be ready with the bail money.
Yeah, it's not because I don't want her to know. It's because I don't want her to be in jail because she has to help raise my kids. So, yeah.
That part. I think I'd rather be in jail.
Just kidding. You could come along with me. Okay, sorry. This is our banter. This is what you call best friend relationship, right? Where you can laugh about anything, no matter how stupid it sounds. So
yeah. So let's talk about different stages in our life where friendships kind of fade out. So I know for me, when I moved from a different state, friendships I saw would fade out. A lot of times, you know, people get married, start to switch circles, start to put more emphasis on family, so friendships can fade out that way. What else? What are some other ways?
I feel like jealousy too. If your life is moving in a more positive direction and maybe they're still stagnant in the same place, they may feel like you're leaving them behind or that you're too good for them. But really, that's a cognitive distortion on their end, which is like the easy way to break what a cognitive distortion is just like a false thought that only you've created within yourself and that someone else has not told you yet. And I feel like that happens a lot in friendships where you assume because your friend's not, you know, calling you, or your friend works a lot because, you know, they're leveling up in their life. And it's not anything that you've done or the fact that they don't want to be friends anymore. They just have to switch their priorities around.
Yeah. So I think knowing what the balance is with that, right? So knowing that that's a normal life change that we all go through, as far as different shifts that happen in our life. But when do we know when to not force a friendship?
I feel like after you've tried multiple times, I think any relationship that's important to you, there should be some type of communication. And if you feel like your friend's leaving you out or not talking to you, I think just being open and honest and asking them like, hey, are we good? Like, are you going through something right now? Do you need space? I know you're busy, so I don't hold it against you, but I miss our friendship or hanging out. I don't think there's anything wrong with being vulnerable, especially when it's in a relationship that you value.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. And then vulnerability, I think, helps deepen the friendship as well, right? So if you just have surface level conversations or a surface level friendship, right? I think that's a good way to identify what kind of friend this is for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think there's also a friendship breakup or a shift when your friend makes other friends sometimes too. If those friends that you have can't accept that you have other friends, I think oftentimes friendship breakups happen really easily like that. But there are friends that, if your friend doesn't have kids and you meet friends that do have kids, then of course you're going to be hanging out with someone else often because your friends, and your kids will learn to be close too.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, and like, so what you're saying is sometimes you have like two different lifestyles, two different groups, right? You have your friend who might not have kids, may not have a partner, or may not share those things with you. How do you think you can still maintain that balance with that friend who may not resonate with you in those areas, those important areas of your life?
Yeah. I think the most important part is a lot of people lose their identity in their partner and in their kids. And if you can maintain your identity outside of those other labels that you have for yourself, being like a wife or a spouse or being a parent, I think you can maintain those friendships because you don't have to make your entire world about your partner and your kids. You can stop time to meet up with your friends for coffee or go out to dinner for a girls' night and just go to a nice dinner or go get your nails done, make appointments or time if you have it with your friend outside of that so that you can foster that relationship a little bit more.
Yeah, so that brings up the topic of effort, right? How effort comes from both sides. So if, like you said, you are busy, just being able to give a few minutes, right? Being able to give time for a manicure, pedicure, or a coffee date shows effort, but effort definitely has to be from both sides and both angles.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I know for me, a big pet peeve is me always reaching out to someone and them not reciprocating that or acting like I'm bothering them by reaching out. At that point, that's when I start to do that friendship fading part on my end of things because if I'm trying and I'm communicating with you and you're not reciprocating it, I'm definitely going to fall back. And that has cost me friendships. But to be honest, if I faded, I don't know what to tell you.
And then if they're giving you that impression, I mean, was it really a friendship to begin with that was worth keeping?
No, because the very important friendships, I will continue to reach out. Like we don't talk every day. We have lives, but you are my best friend. So I think that kind of shows the level of friendship is we know what's going on in each other's lives. So I know why I'm not talking to you as much. You know why I'm not talking to you as much because we communicate how busy we are, like with work and the kids and things like that. And I think that's what's important in how people can maintain friendships if they just communicate.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, we've been best friends for 10 years and we've never had an argument.
Oh, yes, very true. Yeah.
Communication.
I was going to say that goes to our communication that we talked about last episode, right? There's absolutely relationships that you can have, not just romantic, but friendships that you can have where you don't argue.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't argue. We've never been distant with each other. Yeah. We've gone without seeing each other because we moved. But I think that's it. But you can tell that that's because we value it. And if it's something that you value, you put in effort because friendships are hard to come by, especially once you start getting in your 30s where you're not clubbing all the time and out in the streets. My street days are over. I'm in the house. Maybe a lounge one day, but that's it for me. So I know I'm not making any friends.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And that's a good point with when we talked about in the beginning that life shifts happen, right? We both moved an hour away from each other. So that's a good example of maintaining a friendship, right? Where you have different shifts happening and different things happening in your life, but still putting in the equal effort to balance and maintain a friendship. But I know with that, right, our kids grew up together pretty much, so that was difficult for them to have that distance. But I think that they're happy now that they're back together, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I know where I was going with that attachment. How you mentioned, you know, that we don't talk every single day. I think that goes to having a secure attachment within our friendship, right? Because we don't need to talk every single day, all day, because we're secure in where we are with our friendship and our closeness with each other.
Yeah, because even when we text, it's not drawn out conversation all day long, unless it's about the podcast. But other than that, we will go days without texting each other. But I know she's not mad at me, and she knows I'm not mad at her, and we can be confident in that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, is touching back on the secure attachment, because last episode was about attachments in relationships such as anxious and avoidant. Those things can also happen in friendships too. The thought that your friend maybe doesn't want to be around you, or you feel like the friendship is fading because they're not responding to you, that can fall in line with anxious attachment. And that's where the communication is important again, because if you just ask your friend, like, hey girl, what's up? Are we good? Are you okay? Like, I haven't heard from you. I know usually we talk a lot. I know things have been busy, but I just want to check in with you and see how things are going. And if they say that everything's fine, they've just been busy or had important things come up, it's your job now to accept that reality and move forward and not think the worst about yourself. Even if you see them out, right? Like maybe someone else invited them out because they saw that they were going through something and now they're out with their other set of friends. That still does not mean that your relationship isn't important. It just means you have to be secure in knowing that that's still your friend, even though they didn't invite you out.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, we talked about the positives of friendships, right? How do we, have you ever broken up with a friend before?
Yeah, I just don't talk to them anymore.
You ghost them.
I wouldn't say ghost. I just stopped putting in effort. And if they don't return the effort, there just won't be no effort.
Oh, is that the fading away?
Yeah. Now, if they reach out to me and I feel like it's genuine, I will have a conversation. That's part of the growth that I'm still working on, is being able to have these conversations with people. But we broke up as friends. We're not rekindling anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have effort or time or energy for it. But I will say friendship breakups are the hardest when it's a friend you've been friends with for a very long time, I think.
Yeah, and let's talk about that maybe hidden emotion surrounding it, which is grief, right? The grief of having a relationship or friendship or having a close friendship that is no longer, is often not recognized, right? We know that grief comes with breakups, with romantic relationships, but that is also a very real thing for friendships.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like the grieving process is the same as the stages of grief?
Absolutely, right? And I think that with that, it could also be like that emotional roller coaster, like the stages of grief, right? So come to acceptance with it. You may be sad, maybe angry, maybe in denial, but maybe going back through all of those emotions again and know that that is a very normal thing, even though it's a friendship, right? It was still a breakup and it still held value within your life. So that grief is definitely relevant in this situation as well.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I don't think anything is wrong with being vulnerable about losing a friendship either. I think it just shows like who you are as a friend.
Definitely. And I think it's common, right? We're in our 30s, so I think it's common for friendships. I don't know if people really have friendship breakups maybe like the friends that are toxic, or maybe they get into a huge argument, right? But I think most of the time, friendships fade.
Yeah.
At least what I've seen in my life, that the friendships that I have that are no longer have faded. I don't think I've ever had to actually break up with a friend before.
Yeah, I think it kind of just lets the universe do its thing on its own. Yeah. I feel like even when it comes to finding friends and you're like just getting to know people, that's a hard one too, because those relationships fade. You wouldn't necessarily call those friendships yet, but more like acquaintances when you're in that getting to know you phase for friendships. I think those ones are hard too, because there's a level of excitement you get when you first meet someone, just like dating. And you're like, yes, this is going to be my girl. We're going to be out all the time and hanging out. And then slowly you guys stop talking. And then you just never hang out again.
Yeah.
But then there's no bad blood, right? It just happened organically like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And with that is expectations and patience, because a lot of times, right, like you said, you have the expectation of this being your girl, or, going out all the time or whatever, so be it. But it may not turn out like that. And I think that's where we could talk about that radical acceptance that comes in there, right?
Yeah.
Accepting that it didn't go how we had planned.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just move forward just like you would in a breakup with a partner. You accept that it's over and you move forward. Easier said than done, because I know some of you are out there slashing tires, busting windows, doing all of that stuff. It is over. Cry.
Done.
Get a therapist.
Grief, process it.
Get in the gym. Get that revenge body going.
Yeah.
Post some selfies on Instagram. I don't know. Anything but busting tires and doing illegal activity. That's just not it anymore. And because you're not doing that to the friendship breakup either, because people are allowed to move on. So I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah. And going into friendships, right, with new friendships, maybe reevaluating what the expectation is, like what expectation or what am I hoping to get out of this, and not setting yourself up for failure in a way, right? If you meet a new friend and they're super cool, right? Not thinking, oh, this is going to be my best friend, right? This just might be a cool friend that I talk to every once in a while or get up with every once in a while, but really having expectations to, as to what that friendship is going to be. And I think that helps you not set yourself up for failure if it doesn't turn out the way that you had hoped or planned.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think too, what's important as you start to get older when thinking about friendships too is being a low maintenance friend, and your friend also being a low maintenance friend. And I know that that's hard, even as friendships shift. Like, you're used to talking to maybe your best friend every single day. Like, we were used to seeing each other every day. We would get coffee every morning, typically, to not seeing each other and not talking every day or even every week. And so it's just understanding that low maintenance side of things is not being like that person has to make you their everything in that friendship. That's like, reserve that much expectation on your partner when you live together or you're married, and have that expectation for them versus having that expectation on a friend. That's a lot of pressure to put on one human being that also has a life outside of you and their own family.
For sure. It's not really fair either, right? Accepting that people, like you said, have their own life. So, and friendships may pick back up, right? Like, our story is so interesting. We moved away from each other and now we're 5 minutes away from each other. So, things can pick back up again too.
Yeah. Especially again, if you value that friendship. I think the word friend is used so loosely. That's probably another pet peeve. I'm gonna have to write that down. I didn't realize it, but I think it is. When people say, oh, that's my friend, that is not your friend. That's your acquaintance. If you went to high school with them, you graduated 15 years ago. I graduated 15 some ish years ago. You graduated 15 some years ago too. We're both old. But like, for instance, I wouldn't say that those kids that I was friends with in high school are still technically my friends today, because we haven't maintained a friendship. I would say now we're acquaintances or people who know each other, who know of each other, but you don't know me and I don't know you because we haven't taken the time to see who the other person is as we evolve, because as humans, we evolve every few years into different versions of ourselves, and we become better or worse versions of ourselves depending on what we've gone through. But I do think that's important. Friendship, the word friends and friendship should hold more value than it does today.
Yeah. And we should always be evolving, right? So with that, with evolving comes new dynamics and new friendships, or breaking up with friendships that no longer serve or work for you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't know. I have a trouble with also with friendships that seem more one-sided. That's a thing for me too. Someone that only hits you up when they're going through something, but they don't take a second to ask you how you're doing as well. I think that that's a friendship that you need to reevaluate as well, because you could be going through the hardest time in your life. And if you're not a person that broadcasts what you're experiencing and you kind of like to do it on your own, I think that's important too, to kind of watch who is there for you and checks up on you like you do for them.
For sure. Definitely. And that's how we know when a friendship is not balanced, right? Friendships are give and take. So you have to give, you take, but it has to be equal, right? It can't be one person doing more than the other. And I think that that is where boundaries come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that there are certain friendships that there are no boundaries? How do you feel about those friendships, especially at this age where that person just like knows every single thing, always at your house? Do you think that's a realistic friendship? Or do you think lines can be blurred at some point and people can overstep that way?
Yeah, for sure. That's a hard one because I have such a introverted personality. So for me, to me, that is a blurred friendship, a very codependent relationship. For sure, but I might be a little biased because that's just not my personality. But I think that, I don't know, I'm sure there are friendships like that, which I don't want to say are a little toxic, but I feel like that's a bit.
I think it could. I'm extroverted. We both know I'm the loud one, the obnoxious one. And I think that that's a bit much too. Like, I think it's okay for certain friends to come over a lot and do those things. But I think at a certain point in time, especially when you have a spouse or a partner, that you devote time to them and that friendship doesn't need to be involved. I'm talking the friend that has something to say when your partner or your spouse does something every single time, even things that you don't even care about. Like if your spouse wants to go hang out with their friends late at night, have a girls' night or a guys' night, and you don't care about those things because you have full trust, those friendships where your friend always has something to say and over involves themselves in your relationship, I think those are friendships that you should pay attention to.
Yes. Those are the friendships that you need a boundary with, right?
Yeah.
Because that sounds like a little jealousy too coming in.
Yeah, like a misery loves company type of thing.
For sure.
Yeah. I've had friends like that before. I feel like I still probably have a few stragglers out there. Weed yourselves out, please. I'm okay.
Fade away.
I'm open for new friendships at this big age, so fade away if you need to. But I do feel like when people see your lives going great, it takes me back to the beginning, how we started this conversation, and like they see them going great and instantly they have this jealousy over you, or they now find fault in everything that you do, or maybe they try to guilt trip you by saying you don't make enough time for them because you're always with your partner. But when people get in relationships, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to foster their relationship, love their partner, spend time with their family. That's just how life works. I'm sorry I'm not at the club or the lounge with you every week now because I'm on date nights.
And I feel like that's also what we talked about in the beginning, how our lives tend to take certain turns, right? So those friendships, they may not have a partner. So, I mean, at that point, right, finding a balance, and that may be a friendship that fades away because, I mean, they can't really relate to you in certain aspects or points. in your life, right? They don't see that having a partner is a big deal and deserves that time and attention as well. And I think that that's hard to realize when you yourself don't have a secure attachment, and you kind of bring that into the friendship.
Yeah, I agree. And touching on boundaries, like, how do you feel about your friends being friends with your partner or your spouse?
Yeah, I feel like that's healthy. I mean,
yeah. Do you think there's levels though? Have you heard of like the stories where it's like the friend is texting or communicating with the spouse or the partner like all the time?
No. Like what?
Like on Lifetime, probably.
No, that's a little odd. Like that didn't even cross my mind.
Like, I'm trying to think of what, not since I'm old, I love Lifetime movies.
I know.
But I know I've seen at least 10 Lifetime movies where
like
best friend becomes obsessed with your partner, but you don't know it because you think.
Okay, that's a little odd on both ends.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But I think we both have healthy relationships with each other's partners.
Yeah, you text her. You text her often.
Yeah.
I've texted Chris and asked him stuff before.
Yeah. My bestie and Chris planned my whole engagement. And I didn't even know. We talking about that.
Right. That's a good sneaky. I think that's a good sneak.
And I didn't even know.
I think that's where the sneaky boundary stops right there. Yeah. That's a good sneaky. If it ends with your best friend being like over the moon happy and crying like a baby, I think that's good. Yeah. And I love that because it shows our relationship holds value to her spouse to include me in that when anyone could have been included. He could have just picked, I don't know what your fake friends' names are in her phone, but he could pick one of them and then, but here I am.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point with the boundaries with the partners for sure.
No.
Yeah, there's definitely a line. Definitely.
Yeah. 100%. And then like with friendship breakups, do you feel that the confrontation of that breakup, how do you feel it should be approached? Should you still approach it with care and consideration for that other person's feelings? Or should you be a savage like I probably would?
I feel like as in a romantic breakup, right? Hopefully it's approached with accepting the other person's feelings and sitting down or talking about it mutually, but still being assertive. Like, this friendship no longer works for me.
I think for me, I value that. Like, I may have some choice words for you, but please tell me if you don't want to be friends with me anymore or it no longer serves a purpose, because then I can shift my energy towards another friendship that maybe deserves a little bit more from me, because people like to think that friendships don't deserve effort, and they do. Like, you have to nurture and grow a friendship like you would a relationship or a plant. I think you like plants. So whatever plants you want to take care of and you nurture and grow, that's how you want to treat your friendship, but like delicate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So friendship breakups, they're pretty hard.
They are.
When's the last time you had a friendship breakup?
I had a friendship fade. But I don't really have, and again, I'm introverted, so I don't really have a lot of friends. And I like it like that.
So I'll tell a story because I really don't care. But I had a set of friends that I was friends with. There was a couple of us together, right? And two of them got into an argument. And I was close with both of them pretty equally. But because they got into an argument, the one who was in the wrong just stopped talking to me because I was still talking to the other one.
That's petty.
Right. Like, do you feel like, because I didn't take sides, which I don't think you should in a friend, unless someone is outwardly wrong and being who I am, I'm pretty direct. I'll probably tell them.
Yeah.
But I didn't involve myself, so
yeah,
she just stopped talking to me.
That's very petty, and I think that person needs some healing, right? Because
if you're watching this, you need some healing.
He needs some healing. Find a therapist. because that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. And to think that you have to choose a friend and you're friends with both of them equally is very what's the word? Controlling.
Your guys' argument was pretty stupid if you ask me, but what do I know? Just know I was still sleeping peacefully at night, but I want you out there to know that you could have handled that much better, and I hope you've had therapy since to learn about communication.
That's why I got like 2 friends.
I have, probably 2.
Because I ain't got time for that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do enjoy meeting new people. So it's kind of like hit or miss. Like, I like to meet new people, but do we ever really go anywhere with the friendship? Probably not. Because I'm more busy than I think that I am. So. But okay, so then touching on that, like us only having a select few friends, how do you feel about friends being jealous of other friendships?
That's another control aspect of things.
Yeah.
I think that is a source of a controlling characteristic, because why are you unhappy that your friend has another friend?
Yeah. Or not like, what about like your friend not liking your other friend?
Yeah, I think that's common. I had that happen a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Never met them and just don't like them.
Yeah, but that's that control or that jealousy. Like, why are you not securing yourself that your friend can't hang out with somebody else?
Yeah. Do you believe people can have multiple best friends?
I think that is concerning when people say they have multiple best friends.
Oh.
I think that is where we get into attachment.
Yeah, that's true. What about the difference between bestie and best friend? Do you think that's a difference or just made up names?
I think that bestie has become like that's my bestie. That's my bestie, but it could mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I ask, because people use it like loosely. Like, you can be like, oh, my work best friend.
Yeah.
Like,
which that's a good point though, because some people have work best friends.
They do, like,
but that's not like your best friend.
Yeah, it's not tell you where the body's best friend. That's a, hey girl,
we're going out to lunch together.
We go out to lunch every day together.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that stops at work.
Yeah. Or it can continue, like if you quit and then maybe the friendship develops after that but then I think at that point, if you guys really aren't operating as best friends and you stop working together, then that just becomes your friend.
Yeah.
It doesn't go, well, that's my work best friend, and then you're automatically my best friend when we don't work together.
Like a change in dynamic.
Right.
Pretty much. Or change of role. Right?
Yeah.
Now you're just a friend.
Yeah.
You have those.
Do I have those? I have my work bestie. Like one. I work telehealth, so really.
That's difficult.
Yeah, it is. But I'm not really looking.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that much. So, but I think childhood best friend is a good term to use.
Yes. What does that mean?
Now she's saying, yes, what does that mean? Like, so there's different stages in life. We talk about different stages in life, right? And so like, so when you grew up with, maybe since you were little, but maybe some of the fading has happened, but you're still there for each other. But then you have someone that you literally talk to all the time and you consider them your best friend. But you don't want to not have that friendship, that other friendship too. I feel like there's just so many gray areas when it comes to things like that. You can be friends with someone for 20 plus years and that was your best friend this whole time, and then you have life changes happen and then your dynamic kind of shifts to where you're not as close anymore. But then you have maybe friends that you've been friends with for 10 years and then you guys are like inseparable. So I think the term my childhood friend is appropriate because you've been friends with them since you were a child.
Yeah, childhood friend, but I don't know about like best friend, best childhood friend.
No, really either.
Yeah, because that's like I don't know, maybe putting like a significance on the title best friend. Like, why do you think they would be mad if you say that's my friend versus my childhood best friend? Is that why the importance of the title?
I feel like sometimes people take time as like the biggest piece. Like, oh, because I knew her for this long.
Oh, okay, yeah.
her friend isn't really her best friend. I'm really her best friend. Or, I think that people take, I don't know, I think people take time seriously. And I've told people you can be closer to someone you've known for a year than someone you've known for 5 years or 10 years. And I think that's why I feel like maybe there's a stage to it. Like, you don't have any beef with your friend, but you guys grew apart.
Yeah.
But then you've made another friend over the years that has become like family to you as well.
And I think that that's a common growth, right? A common growth pattern is as you grow, right, new people come into your life, and that's okay. And I think being a good, secure friend helps supporting that growth.
Yeah.
Helps with supporting that growth.
Yeah, like being excited that you have someone else too when they're busy, or, they've grown in some way that they can't be there for you like they used to. And I don't know that we even talked about like our definition, like our own definition of best friend, because people use that word so loosely now. Like, what is it that you feel is a good quality in a best friend, or that sets them apart?
I think the dynamic of the relationship is important. And like you said, knowing that you can call them and say, hey, I don't want to say killed somebody, but knowing that they have your back 1,000%. Knowing that they have your back 1,000%, I think is important. And having a balanced friendship, right? So knowing that you have a friendship that gives as much as you give.
Yeah, I think so. Keep going. What else? No,
I think that's all that comes to mind.
I agree. I feel like just having someone that can pick up the pieces when you need help, and you can rely on them. Like when we used to help pick up each other's kids if we got off work late, and it was just no questions asked. Like, hey, can you grab her? Can you grab him? And it was just, okay, yeah, come get him from the house. So I think things like that, where they're willing to just, yes, they have to deal with multiple kids now, or there's a wrench thrown in like their plans maybe, but for you, they're willing to do that because it means that they're helping you, especially when they know that you actually need them.
Yeah.
So I think loyalty, like unwavering loyalty.
Sure. Yeah, I know when I was in my single mom phase, Bestie was here for me 1,000%, right? Because it was just me. So with the pickups, right? I was in school as a single mom, so doing my homework and having class late, Bestie stepped in. So yeah.
I agree. And I think that's what it is, a healthy give and take, because she did a lot for me even outside of those times. And so there wasn't a one-sided friendship. And I think that's what's important, is that everyone, you guys just start reevaluating your friendships and be okay with being uncomfortable with not having a lot of friends. It's about quality.
That's a big one.
Not quantity.
Yes,
I'd rather,
is huge.
Yeah, I'd rather have 2 friends that I can text whenever, or just pull up and sit on the couch and watch TV, than to have a million friends based off popularity or who's throwing the best party or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and I think that goes into the persona, the social media persona, right? You see the besties taking pictures together, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, but y'all probably don't know they've been arguing the whole time on the trip or cussing each other out, right?
Splitting the bill, not way.
Yeah, so I think a lot of what we see on social media plays a part in expectations of thinking that we should have all of these friends or a huge friendship group. That's false.
Yep, it definitely is. So take this time to reevaluate your friendships and really look internally too, to see what it is that you truly are missing in your friendships. If anything, if not, and everything is great and your friendships are amazing, we are so happy for you that you have someone that you can rely on and that supports you. And so, yeah, we're going to just end on like a little bit of a fun note and do kind of a game similar to our red flags, green flags from last time. But this is based more on friendship breaking up or friendship fading. And so these are some scenarios that we came up with. So I will go ahead and start. So it's breakup versus space. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you, your friend doesn't text you for 2 weeks, then randomly sends you a TikTok that made them think of you. Is that a breakup or space?
Space.
Yes. Because they're still reaching out. They're just not consistent. But I think you'll know if you know like the dynamic of your relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Number 2, after one argument, they block you on everything.
Petty.
That's me.
Petty.
That wasn't an option. It was breakup or space.
Petty. Breakup.
Yes.
For me, because I have a boundary, and that kind of level of pettiness, you can't express your feelings emotionally. We do not need to be friends anyway.
Oh. I can express myself emotionally, so I will post a subliminal first.
Never.
Like a meme.
You've never.
Oh, not to you.
Are you that petty? I don't see this side of her. So are you that petty?
She'll never see that side of me. But you, if you're watching this and you aren't on any of my social media and we were friends, just know this breakup was for you. Number 3, they stop inviting you out, but you see group pics with the same people you used to hang with too.
Dang. Breakup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's intentional exclusion. That goes back to what I said before, is it literally takes a single second to text someone and say, hey girl, we're going to X, Y, and Z on Saturday at 8. Are you free?
Yeah.
If your friend says no, okay, well, I just thought I'd ask. I know you are always busy, but I didn't want to leave you out.
Yeah.
Boom.
And to that point, I know we're in the game part, but I actually see that happening a lot. And then I see people trying to still nurture that friendship. No, have some boundaries, have some self-esteem, some self-love, and some self-respect.
Girl, go nurture a plant. No, you'll never leave me out and think that we're about to be back.
But people with, who need to work on their self-esteem and self-confidence, that might be okay in them. That might be something that they blame themselves for and want to, maybe they put on themselves, well, maybe I'm not a good friend. No, leave that relationship alone.
Those are those cognitive distortions and a sign of some type of abandonment that you've experienced in your life, which also takes it back to seeking a therapist. If you find yourself trying to nurture relationships that clearly don't value you or hold space for you, therapy will help get you through that.
Please.
Okay. And then we have for number 4, they tell you directly, I love you. I just need some time to myself right now.
Yeah.
That breakup?
That's good. That's space.
Yeah. It's clear. It's communicating and letting you know where they're at right now and that they're going through something.
Yep.
And I think as a response to that, it's saying, I love you too and I'm here for you. If you need me, reach out whenever you feel better.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the last one I have is the last 5 times y'all linked, it was because you initiated. They never start the convo.
Think a breakup is needed there?
Yes. So what I had down was that it's a great area. It could be space that they have low capacity right now for hanging out. So that's why they're not reaching out as much, but they suck at communicating, or a slow fade into a breakup.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I feel like if you have the emotional capacity to ask them if everything's okay, which it's literally not you kissing anyone's ass either. If you ask your friend, what's going on between you two, that's just showing that you value that friendship enough to have a conversation about it. So, yeah. Okay.
Yep. All right, let's see. They missed your birthday, but Venmo'd you $20 with turn up in the notes. Breakup or space?
I like money, so space.
Yeah. They're not able to be there, but they still show that they care. So, yeah.
Right, because they could have kept their $20. So $20 is not a little bit of money these days. That is only 2 coffees.
Yes. They stop engaging with you on socials. No likes, no comments, but watch every story.
I feel like that's a slow fade. Into a breakup, maybe?
Yeah. Gray area. So lurking without connection.
Girl, at that point,
it's a little weird.
You can go ahead and mute my stories.
It's a little weird. But yeah, that's a gray area.
Yeah.
I think you need to see like where that goes.
I might just turn you off of my story so you can't see what I'm doing. Oh, but that could be petty. Because I have blocked people from seeing my stories before. You ain't about to learn.
The P in Pisces stands for petty, guys. Okay. They flake on plans a lot, but always reschedule and apologize.
Dang, I'm really petty. Because I'm not going out with you no more, so I'm thinking that's a breakup. It might be space, though. Space if you... Space.
Yes.
The therapist side of me is space.
They care, but their life is chaotic.
Yeah.
They need some balance, some alignment.
2 years. Thanks, but no thanks.
That's a good point, though. That's a good point.
I mean,
I think that could do either way.
If I get a babysitter or I could have been on a date with my partner and you tell me we're doing these plans and then you cancel on me last minute, I'm just going to stop making plans with you.
And it's a pattern. I think that's...
Yeah, that shows me you don't value my time either. And that's my boundary. Time is an important value to me because I don't have a lot of it.
Absolutely. So. Good point. Let's see. You open up about something heavy, and instead of supporting you, they ghost you.
Oh, it's a breakup. And if you're not bringing up me, I'm bringing up you.
Yeah, that's that abandonment and avoidance. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in agreement.
Yes.
So, but again, make your own judgment. I'm very petty, like she said. Petty. Petty. P for Pisces stands for petty. I'm gonna start saying that.
That's true.
I'll make a post about it and see if anybody watches it. But anyway, so yeah, I think we just wanted to touch on that. Yes. We think friendship breakups are important, especially as you get older and you have less friends and you get more busy with life. And next week we will touch base on friendship dating.
Yes, guys. So that will be an interesting one for sure. With that, I think a good space from this podcast would be reevaluating those friendships that you guys have in your lives and decide if they're equal give and take, right? What does that look like? Is this friendship serving me in any area? If not, what's a good way to have a breakup?
Use ChatGPT and ask them to draft you up something that is very polite if you're like me.
But assertive.
Polite and assertive. Because if you're like me, it will not end well because it probably won't be the nicest thing.
That's a good point.
But conversation.
Yes.
That was my long version of getting to have a conversation with them and letting them know that you feel like you're drifting apart and that you guys just don't seem to be making any strides in your relationship.
Yeah, for sure. So. Do you think that if they say, I'm so sorry, I'll do better? What do you think that?
If you knew better, you'd do better.
Are you going to give them a chance?
If the friendship is about valuable to you, then I would say give them a chance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
Bye.